Summerhays, who was a partner in some of the stuff that Alma Peterson had going. And so we, between Bob and Ruland and I, and Hy and Pete, we formed, the five of us, a corporation called Highland Coburn Chemicals.
Heiko.
And Heiko, yeah, we call it Heiko for short. And we started manufacturing products, floor wax and varnish. We manufactured varnish.
And they're still in business today.
Sure are. Even after, it was 1953 that we incorporated. And that's a lot of years ago. And Heiko is still making good money and manufacturing, distributing chemicals today.
All right. So you worked at Heiko for a while, and then you went to California.
Yeah, I tried it on
insurance.
my own and decided on 2 jobs down there. One of them was in insurance, and the other one was selling and manufacturing our own products down there. And I made a living, but didn't make much of a different living, or better than what I'd had up here.
So then you came here and got a job at Hercules.
So then I decided to come back to Salt Lake, where our roots were and our families, and so we did. And then at that time I got a job for Hercules.
What did you like and dislike about your job, and what was your title?
It was what?
What was your title, and what did you like and dislike about your job?
Well, we were always underfinanced at Heiko, and Bob was always going on some stupid new idea that he'd only just half do and then give up, and we were really broke, but nobody convinced us of it. And then Woodbury Corporation come along and rescued us, put in enough money that we could operate, and then and it got to the point, though, before they did that, that I couldn't really handle it. So I decided to go to California on our own. And by that time, Ron Starr had come into Hercules. He knew Bob Koch at a company called Itel McCullough Company. And so Ron Starr came in, and then the Woodbury Corporation gave Ron enough money so that he could operate, so that he wasn't always chasing his own tail like I'd have to do, like Bob did. And I, in turn, went down to California, and then we came back after a couple of years, and I got in at Hercules, and they gave me a better deal than I'd had up to that point. I began to get the kind of money that I should have had all along.
And your title was?
I was engineer at the first.
And you worked on rocket science?
Well, I worked on materials. Rockets have to have not only the propellant, that drives them, but they also have to have a lot of other items that hold them together and make a complete rocket. So I worked in trying to select and qualify and test all these other materials, and
So what did you like and dislike about what you did?
oh, I liked it all.
All right.
It was so much easier than farm. On the farm, why, boy, I was just
Better income, easier in the farm. You
had
probably
had more income and less
stress.
work, and
Okay.
in the rocket business, and you just work 8 to 5, and all the rest of the time was yours.
All
On the
right.
farm, why, that wasn't the way it was. You'd work until 11 and then get up early. Wow.
It was probably also somewhat rewarding when you were able to test various things and find out, their properties and find out whether they were going to be working or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any recollections about your supervisors or people that you worked with?
I had
People
10,
that you like or disliked?
had 10 bosses. Got along well with all 10. When I was on my mission, I had 10 companions and got along well with 8 of them.
Hmm.
And the one, why, everybody didn't get along with him, but we had to have him. His name was Elder Harmon, and we had to kind of have him a little bit of time anyway. But then I had Elder Parker, and
You got along well with him.
no,
No.
didn't.
Oh, I thought, okay,
No,
somebody else then, I'm thinking.
I didn't get along with him very well.
Okay.
Although, as a result of it all, it was a good thing, but because I went into memorizing scriptures.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, we wouldn't talk with one another unless there was this third person present. And
Oh,
all the rest
dear.
of the time, well, I would, rather than just sitting there, well, I'd be memorizing and all these hundreds and thousands of scriptures, which did me a lot of good.
All right.
Later, when the Anderson plan came in, and we got a more organized method of teaching the gospel, and I had pre-memorized all the scriptures. And
So
I
it
was
sounds
able
like
to go
you,
into it and get a lot more good out of it a lot faster than any other missionary.
sounds like you
because
made
of that.
lemonade out of a lemon.
Huh?
It sounds like you made lemonade out of a lemon in that situation.
Yeah.
So, one more question about vocation.
Oh, incidentally, George Parker later requested if I would help him get into Hercules, and I said, yeah. And he got into Hercules. And then he and I had our same office in the same building and in the same actual office for 7 years. And we never had an argument.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
And working together in
It seems like
Hercules.
seems like I went out with his son one time.
Probably
Parker.
did.
Parker
Probably
sounds
did.
familiar.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Um.
But George did more than his share of the work too,
Oh, good.
and
Maybe things had changed in that amount
very
of time.
much so, man. Because on a mission I couldn't get along with him, but in Hercules,
You're fine.
other people couldn't get along with him, and I got along perfectly with him.
Oh boy. Last question on vocation. If you had it to do again, do you think you would have chosen that as a vocation or something different?
Well, I liked the people so dang well, and they paid me well, and I don't know that I would want anything much different.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, well, that brings us up to the values section, and we'll do that next time.
Okay, sounds good.